Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll play a bunch of Brigitte, I guess. You know, or we do pain up. Alright, let's finish some weeklies. If anyone, you know, Wolf, Sursa, want to jump in on some weekly grind? I would love that. Thank you.
Welcome to Circuit Royale.
I think we lost. You know what, guys? GG. Good game.
Play of the game.
Let's see how he pwned me right here. Look, that's me right over there. That's me. Zenyatta. You know, I weaved him so hard. Okay, that guy was floating. Hey, 600 match finish. Backfill. Consecutive match. Sheesh, so much XP. Come on, one game. We can get into one game, right? I just want to see if there has been an update to... Nope. I mean, it does have a pull request currently open. Let's go!
Now arriving at the Shambali Monastery. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Oh, this is open queue. I forgot. You can play whatever. Oh, it's gonna be great fighting against 3 tanks.
Breaking me down just builds me up. Stay close to me and I'll keep you safe.
This should be interesting.
He will not juggle.
Don't be afraid to ask for help out there. I'll cover you.
Maximum power.
Five, four,
3, 2, 1.
Attackers incoming.
Alright, guys.
Stop the payload.
Trust in each other, and we won't fail.
I have yet to be. There we go. Oh my god.
Let me take care of that for you. Come at me, dog.
Let's me just boop back real quick. Keep her away. Damn, it feels good to be a tank. Is the tank finally back? Okay, there we go. Did the tank die again? I'm my turret! Nice kill. Yo, can you kill the turret? Thanks. I need to get out of there. Damn. Wait. Did I take increased damage from dashing through it? Oh my god, I did. No, I have no idea. I don't know. It looked like my health all of a sudden instantly got murdered.
Watch your language.
Watch my language. God damn.
Sending care your way.
Let's go, gamer. Oh god, laser.
Special delivery.
Hey, Ash.
Nuh-uh.
Okay.
Shield's buckling. Placing shield. Don't get it.
Oh, the Farah? No. But my shield! Can I not block it? I swear I can.
Okay, I'm ready to go again.
I'm overloading.
Enemy turret up ahead.
Get in there, Bob.
Enemy over here. Shields under fire. 60 seconds. Here, take this. Enemy turret up ahead. 60 seconds. Here, take this. Enemy turret up ahead. 60 seconds. Shields under fire. 60 seconds. Here, take this.
Play the corner strat. They hate it. Play the corner strat. They hate it.
Seconds remaining.
I need mitigation. Give me the mitigation.
Find cover and hold. We've almost won.
Watch out through building. Junker has ult probably. Hold it.
Somebody get me some healing today.
Ooh, double melee'd. Nice. GG. No one speaks in non-comp. It's cringe. I do. Look how bullshit. My shield got completely ignored. Balls. No one's online. Dang. Just want to finish my. I finish at least these 2 weeklies. This I'll finish with luck, and this I'll finish because of comp. Anyone wanna play? Sursa, Han. Anyone wanna do weeklies?
Bruh,
Oh my god.
this guy's begging people to play.
At least I'm not forcing you to play, okay? I politely asked, and you politely agreed. Bazinga.
Damn.
Yeah? What's up?
Dang.
Oh shit, you're already good.
What?
Quit the queue! Okay, there you go.
So what are you doing?
Weeklies.
Weeklies. And what is your weekly?
I need to do mitigation, damage. Those are the only 2 I care about.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yeah, the other ones are win 15 games. Win 7 games is all queued. I never do that one, and I never do role mastery. Because I don't want to play tank, and I don't want to play tank.
Damn.
I know.
What's wrong with tank?
They're too squishy.
Sure.
Which ones do you still have to do?
I don't know. Probably all of them.
Hmm. Wait, so you also have Hanzo Kissy?
The what?
Hanzo kissing? Mwah.
Highlight intro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Rialto. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
You know, if I really cared about getting that mitigation done quickly, I could just play Reinhardt.
Alright, what am I? Wait, it's open.
Yeah, it's open.
Okay. Wait, what the fuck am I playing then?
Wait, I need to play Brigitte.
We're defending. Not very much because I haven't been able to play him now.
Oh yeah, you got him! Dude, last night, yesterday?
Wait,
Let's focus on that.
close your stream because.
Like,
Oh shit. Alright, there you go.
You know, anger management classes might help you with that temper.
Doctors, always wanting you to do the work.
Don't worry, I'll keep our medics safe.
Alright.
Kinda got moved though.
I'm gonna sit right here.
Can I just throw boxes? No.
No, if I stay right here and they don't see me, then
5, 4,
the point will never get kept.
1. Attackers incoming.
Take everything from them.
Stop the payload.
Oh well, that didn't do anything.
Go away, trust. Have trust. Bye-bye.
This Roadhog is so fucking boring, dude.
That's the only thing he does. He's gonna swap the second he's done with the bridge.
Exactly, it's so fucking obnoxious.
Well, that's how you play the game. Imagine there wasn't a drop, then Roadhog would be very useless at this game. I cannot heal you. I can heal you. I booped him. Roadhog is gonna be behind us. If he's not in front of us. Yeah, he's behind us on the bridge. It's just the Bastion just sitting there lasering. Wait, how did he hit my how did he not deal damage to me that entire time?
Who?
The Bastion, he just shot me this entire time and nothing happened. I'm gonna peek this guy.
Watch, he's gonna do it again.
I respect it, but I have a shield. Stupid. What was that big aura? I'm gonna use May as a block. Oh, it didn't work.
My God.
Jeez. Okay, maybe I will mitigate. So I get the mitigation done. Orisa.
Only in unity will we find strength.
Okay.
How do I Orisa? What do stuff do?
Alert.
How the fuck do I explain that in fucking short time?
Yeek.
How the hell did he do so much damage?
Which guy?
I don't know. Fucking, I lost all my health immediately.
Headshots. Ah, I pressed E. Does E not make me invincible?
What? Which is he?
E is spin wheel.
It's like a shield. It blocks damage or absorbs. You know, like Sigma shit.
Yeah,
It's Sigma's shit when they
Oh.
absorb shit,
but I died.
and it gives you and it gives you movement speed.
I
Well,
get
okay.
May doesn't work with it, I guess. You're dead. That was hilarious. Oh yeah, no, May hits through that.
This is so fucking obnoxious.
I mean, that's open queue.
My allies need me.
I broke some pillars. For good luck.
Nano boost administered.
Aww. Well, I gave Doomfist his fist. Oh, Doomfist is one. Oh, I was one. I thought I had my shift by then. How long is the cooldown for that?
Bruh.
Oh my
Only one
gosh.
Healer, dude, this is stupid.
So?
Well, I'm fucking, I can't, like, bruh, I can't do anything because I keep dying immediately.
Doomfist is cheating! Damn. I don't like Orisa. Oh! Oh! It's only the fist guy. Yo!
Wow, at the end of the game when they're literally like 2 minutes away from winning, that's when actually shit happens.
Well, it doesn't
serious?
matter if we win or not. We just want the mitigation points and shit.
Well, I don't give a shit about the challenges. I want to win. Because even if I do get the challenges, I don't get anything from it.
Vetchin's upstairs. I died! Bloop, 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 bloop.
My god!
Oh god. There's a fist guy. Does Roadhog not mitigate damage? Dang, close.
Stupid.
Almost killed the Mei.
Play of the game.
He pressed Q. Wait, he was nano boosted? No, he's burning.
He was nano boosted.
Oh, he was nano boosted. I 90% of the time I can't tell between someone who's nano boosted, just has a glowing red outline for some reason, or is burning. Because a lot.
Change that?
Can I?
Because you can change like what color your team colors and the enemy color is. And
Yeah.
whenever the enemy is nano boosted, they get the enemy color, right?
Yes. Yes, but also, for some reason, sometimes they get like they're like super red. Like in general, they're shaded like completely red, so I'm confused if they're nano boosted or not. But usually they aren't.
Oh. That's what I'm saying. Like you're saying that they're all red. That's because that's the enemy color. Or if you change the enemy color to something else, like pink, or something I don't know, green.
Pink.
So if you see them completely green, then you're like, oh no, they're nano boosted.
Oh god, imagine you see an enemy that's green, you might be thinking, oh, that's an ally.
Yeah.
It's like Fire Emblem all over again. Blue is your team, green is an assisting bot team, and then red is the bad guy. Let's see, can I actually do that? Where do I change colors? I have no idea where to change colors. Gameplay. It's not under gameplay.
Let's see options.
Color blindness.
Yeah, color blindness.
Customize color. Oh god, I don't get to pick. Oh, make the enemies pink. Oh, that's adorable.
Oh my god.
I'll do it once. That's just... Oh, yeah, that's a filter.
Yeah, but we love gameplay.
I didn't see a difference.
Oh yeah, Quartzi.
Yes, sir.
How come they got rid of 2 control point maps? Because now it's like the only thing that exists now are like payload maps.
Ah, they're too quick.
Is that why?
No, I think they're just unfairly unbalanced. I mean, 3 control map, 3 control point maps. Now that's balanced.
I guess it makes sense because when with payload you have to like go through the whole map to be able to win.
Yeah, while
Meanwhile,
with the control point,
with the control push, you can just do. Oh, okay, we did that point. Now we just need to do that point. Then we're over.
Exactly. You get a team kill, and you already have a tracer sitting on the other point.
Yeah. Also gives the enemy team another chance to recover and payload.
You would have to make it just so that control points had like a lockdown of like 20 seconds after being captured. But that goes into the problem of overtime. How does that affect overtime? Well, I assume it affects it by just adding another minute onto time. So then you have 40 seconds or whatever to get to the point, or to have the point in the first place.
Wonder if what would happen if they like introduced a new game mode in this game.
Oh yeah, I wonder what would happen if they introduced a new game mode.
I mean, like, what kind of game mode would they introduce if they did make a new game mode? Like, what would you want, or like what?
Oh, you mean like Lucio Ball or Capture the Flag?
No, like a I guess kind of like Capture the Flag because that's also a mode.
Oh, so you mean an official one?
Yeah, like a new official one.
That would be in regular comp, or would it get its own comp?
Oh, let's just say regular comp.
Regular. Oh my god. Okay. Plant the bomb. Just casual Valorant CS:GO. Just make Overwatch from Valorant or CS:GO.
That actually gave me an idea. What if there was like a fucking
Paladins
capture the flag kind of thing, but it's also like a plant the bomb thing. You have to go to the enemy spawn, take their thing, then put it on your spawn, and then charge it in your spawn.
and then bring it back.
Prepare your defenses.
Something like that.
Select your hero.
What if it's like a data code or some shit? You take their data and then you
Hack it.
code, hack it in your base, and they have to like stop you from getting all the data.
And then you have to bring it. Then you have to send a virus or whatever to destroy their data.
I don't know. Something like that.
Who mitigates a lot of damage?
Reinhardt, Sigma.
Wait, are we defending?
Yes, again.
No, I'm playing Bushi.
Breaking me
Oh,
down
yeah,
just builds me up.
On attack, I'll play right, I guess. Oh my god, the enemy team is pink.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Oh, that's so weird.
Nothing ventured.
I hope they have an Anna so I can see the thingy.
Oh my god, we got the character from the new dating sim.
Wait, did he pay 20 bucks?
No,
10 bucks? Okay.
5, 4,
he doesn't have the skin, but it's just funny. It's like, oh, it's that guy from that game.
Oh my god.
incoming. Stop the payload.
Bless you. Have you tried moving? Hey, Anna says come to her if you want healing, I'm just saying. Oh god, the Widow. Oh no, the Widow's flying. You're doing great. You did great. I'm taking over the tanking. Oh, I died. Wow. Wow, both teams have a normal comp.
I'll try a different approach.
Why didn't the Anna reposition?
Why should she? She's still
She was,
alive.
like, in
She's
front
fine.
of us.
She still is in front of us.
Yeah, but like when I died.
How can you recover?
Screw you, kid. One. Damn. Not even an anonade, nothing.
Trust in the process.
Oh, I wouldn't see that. Who got boosted, by the way?
The Hanzo. the Cupid.
But he's not Cupid skin though, right?
I'm sniping the sniper.
Are you winning, son? Here, I'll shield you.
Eyes on a target.
Okay, shit's broken.
I got you.
Well, I have to play on corners. That's the only time I'm gonna get the healing. Oh, she's one! They're both one! No!
Oh, I almost got her, but
Oh, you got one.
where's the healing, man?
You suddenly dropped to like 0 health, like out of
That's
nowhere.
what I'm talking about.
I go out on my turn.
Hey, it's when someone ults, you know, they all of a sudden, all the damage goes on you in like an instant.
You're alright. The tanks are too squishy.
Exactly. I'm ulting. I'm getting on point. Got one. Going for the tank. Going for Genji. I'm still going for Genji, because fuck that guy.
You should rethink your strategy.
Hey, they didn't get the point.
That's good.
We didn't kill one person.
That's good, I guess.
Watch out.
I booped him. Oh look, it's Genji. He's gonna ult. Never mind, he's dead. Haha, my kill. Ah! Wait, did you run away? Oh, you ran away. Why did you tell me that you were backing off? You
I'll
let.
slow down as well.
Yeah, but I went through instead of going back. Oh, nice kill. Oh, you punched him. Hey, I mitigated almost half of your damage. But I healed more, so I mitigated a lot.
30 seconds remaining.
I'll shield you, buddy. Okay, never mind. I'm not shielding you. I booped them. Oh no, they're ulting. What should we do?
Damn it, they're gonna get point now.
But that's fine.
Eyes on a target.
The Tracer's stalling them.
She's gonna try. No, she's not. I mean, you can ult. Yeah, just ignore the tank. And block. Oh, nice.
Victory.
Hee hee, good stall.
They got scared and ran away and forgot. Oh yeah, we're supposed to push the car.
Look at the kitty!
Kitty cat is cute.
Play of the game.
Cassandra!
Let me guess.
Tennis! Yeah, she
Oh,
got me
look
there.
at
Bloop. Where your health
Nice
just
kill.
goes to 0. Imagine he dies. A nice backflip.
Dude, ascended.
8 out of 10.
God damn it, Hanzo, get off my screen.
I actually get Kiriko a lot. I almost never get Hanzo. You know, Overwatch is just telling you something, you know?
Oh my god. Why are you staring at me like that?
Ay caramba. Pam 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 pam.
Traveling to
Havana?
Havana Unana.
Prepare your
What do you mean a while ago? It was last season as well, I
Select your
think.
hero.
I don't remember playing this.
Me-
I never remember playing this on night.
We're still defend.
Amazing.
There are no corners to play here. There's like 3.
Mm.
I like playing on corners.
Breaking me down just builds me up.
Alright, I'm gonna play.
More Ramatra.
Stay close to me
No,
and
I'm
I'll
gonna
keep you safe.
play,
Hamster.
I'm gonna be a
Cassidy.
Team.
Genji. Okay, you're gonna be one-shot Genji.
I suck at Genji.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're gonna get one shot.
Okay, last time we played and I was playing Genji, I actually did the least damage. You two healers did more damage than me.
Nice. Dude, we won so many games last time. I was like, how are we winning so much? It's like crazy win streak that was happening yesterday. I actually thought like something's not right here.
I'm making it so you get all the bad players because I'm so bad at the game. Oh, so much fun.
Fuck off, kid. I knew it. Woo! You're doing great.
Oh, stuck.
I can't shield it.
I was trying to position myself so I could have a mercy dash to me.
Yeah, Mercy's dash cooldown is not very long. Not really, it's 2.5 seconds or something. Hey, if that person complains about heals, I'm gonna scream. I'm sleeping. I'm gonna get naded. Thanks. Wait, why me? What did I do?
Why
Oh,
do people play Sombra?
oh, you can jump down? I did not know that. I was trying to chase a Sombra, but the Reinhardt killed me.
I hate Sombra so much.
Sombra's really cool. She can go
Sombra is a
invisible.
fucking bitch.
Wait, he headshot me? He was looking so far low.
Are
What
you
the hell?
serious?
I'll try a different approach.
Angela. I need beating.
Fuck off, Genji.
Let me take care of that for you. Shield buckler.
Did someone say that?
They said something stupid.
I didn't see anything.
It's when I respawn. No voice lines.
Oh.
No, the characters can talk, remember?
Yeah, I never listened to them speak. I think we killed them.
I am going to fucking throw this computer out the window.
Don't. You won't be able to play games.
Well, probably be better.
No. Where'd she go? Down there?
Fucking hell, hopefully.
Okay, nothing's hacked out. Oh, there she is. Go get him, shawty! Oh, I missed. I moved to the side and he moved somewhere else. I was so confused. Yeah, that was not supposed to get me.
I should think that one over again.
Oh, he missed. Ah, still died.
Careful, we're outnumbered.
Nice kill.
How did all those miss?
I'm going down here, buddy. I need help. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Okay, thanks. Yo, mercy. Nice. Me and the Reinhardt are best friends now. I killed the Sombra, so you don't have to worry about her. The Doomfist, I can't do anything against. Boop. See, I would like to say, oh, we're defending, but that's gonna end up getting us killed now. Okay, Sombra's not down there.
They don't have a Sombra. Sombra is the Doomfist now, I think.
No, it's the Reaper. Or Anna. Probably Reaper. I'm gonna go kill the Reaper. Reaper teleported up there. Oi! What did I do? He sprayed me! So me!
Oh my god. How come so far the only people who's killed me is this fucking Mercy?
Mercy's a good gamer. Whee!
Guess we take those.
Evil Arene. Oh no, the spell.
Did they turn pink?
I didn't see it. I don't know.
God damn it.
I mean, it's on stream.
Oh no, they're countering me.
Oh, they got a Mora now?
Yeah.
Watch out, Mercy, she's gonna kill you again.
She probably will, it just scares me.
Hi, Raccoon. I can't heal you. There you go.
Damn it. They have a fucking Pharah?
Whee!
Oh, great.
I held
Point.
point for a long time though.
Oh, this is obnoxious. Wait, I'm the only DPS? What the fuck?
Yeah, we have 2 tanks. You're also like really high on damage.
I'm not.
Yeah, you're 6k damage. You're actually almost top in the lobby.
That is not good. I should have like 10k at this point. If I was
Stop.
actually good again.
No, usually you don't even get 10k in comp, which has 2 rounds. Being lasered by Mora. Come back, come back, come back! Why me? That wasn't even supposed to get me!
No sweat. Just try again. Looking better already.
We'll probably switch to her, but I don't care.
Nah, bro, stay. It's more fun. Doomfist.
Enemy here. Let me help you with that.
60 seconds.
Mora's low. At least they're under 1 minute, which means in
Oh my god.
Palm we would be equal.
Oh, well, we lost.
Oh, I was so close.
Oh my god.
So close.
It wasn't even close at all.
What? They only had 20 seconds. In comp, that means they have 1 minute. Basically overtime. Anything under 1 minute is basically overtime. He killed me. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-bum. Oh, I need 12k mitigation. I'll do that some other time. I'll do that tomorrow.
Oh, wouldn't an easy way to also get mitigation is to play Lucia?
No, because that's only if he ults.
Isn't that with like every single healer then?
No, because Brigitte, you can just hold right click and then let it charge, and then hold right click and then let it charge, and then hold right click and then let it charge.
Who else has mitigation? I guess maybe Bash.
And her on her ult.
Genji also has mitigation. 'cause
Wait.
Deflect.
Does that count towards mitigation though?
I have no idea.
Like, how would that work if Genji deflected Mei's ult? Does he just get a hard value of mitigation, or does he get mitigation based on how much Mei's ult did damage?
I have no idea. Probably a hard value. Well, I know that you can get mitigation stats from deflecting. Wait, if we go into history.
Oh god, can Genji deflect? That's an interesting thing. And then I'm gonna go clean up.
God, I just want to see the fucking stats, not the fucking whole ass game.
There we go. Let's see. Deflect. There is no deflect. No, damage reflected. Ooh, my best damage reflected is 6k. What's yours?
Wait, what?
It's at the bottom of Genji.
Damage. What?
Reflected.
Where?
At the very bottom. Second last thing for me.
Damage reflected. Total 127k.
What's your best?
3k.
I think mine's bullshitted then.
What did you do?
I have 6k as my best, and I've had done 91k total.
Well, I suck at Genji and I never play DPS.
Same.
Oh, what? No.
I don't play DPS.
Yeah, but you're good at everything.
No. Didn't you just see me try to play tank?
But even if you do play tank, you still play well.
No. I think I play Brigitte better as a tank than actual tanks.
Well, that's because you're more used to playing with G.
Yeah. My total hero damage done with Junkrat is 448k, and my total ever hero damage done is 6.5 mil, which means almost 10%. No, wait, that's, I don't know how to math. Less than 10%, but above 5%, or about 5% of my damage dealt comes from Junkrat, I think. Oh my god, I've almost done more damage with Baptiste, or I have done more damage as Baptiste.
This game history thing is broken.
Yes it is. Whoa, I did so much damage as Kiriko, but I healed so much more. Wait, does most of my healing come from Mercy? Yes, it does. 3 million
that's
almost.
Wait, did they stats reset?
I think they reset from Overwatch 1.
Okay. So I was like, what? I was like thinking, like, have I only played 200 hours in Overwatch?
Oh no, then yes, you only have played 200 hours of Overwatch. Cuz it only counts time spent in a game. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter if you've been sitting in a lobby or queuing.
Yeah, but I remember I played a lot of this game when it came out.
I only have I've almost I almost have 400 hours, 398.
Yeah. I feel like I should have more. If it hasn't been reset.